special guest is the women of
Power!
Power! Not black power, but power!
That too. Women all around power.
Women of power all around us.
All
So you
around.
know we're going to have a treat tonight. Okay, before we get started, this is a Christian-based talk show. And you're welcome to come on the show, but you will not change my religion, okay? Now, my favorite scripture is, being confident of this very thing, that he which has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. That's Philippians 1:6. Our motivational saying is, in order to succeed, we must first believe that we can. Okay, so tonight I have the mustard sauce.
Oh my.
And Kimberly has
Hot sauce.
she's so hot, y'all. And then we have the Miracle Whip.
Miracle.
Because she needs a miracle. Okay, so I like the yellow mustard. Okay, so we're going to get all into these women of power sauce. So we're going to find out, when we question them, which sauce are they closest to? Oh,
That's
don't
good.
y'all want to know? So Facebook, you all guess which one they are going to pick, okay? Put it at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so we have the women of power with us tonight, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves because I don't want to mess up anybody's name, because they always mess up my name. They never mess up Kimberly. They never mess up Linda, but they always mess up Elma. So I'm going to let them introduce.
Okay.
Who's going to go first?
I will.
All right, go ahead, Power.
So I am Kasha Hunt, and I'm the host of Women of Power Radio Show. Yes, one of the hosts. And I'm also executive pastor of Ramp Church, Texas, right here in Fort Worth,
All
where
right.
perfect people are not allowed, as well as a playwright. I'm also an author.
Yep.
And this is my first book, Changing of the Guard. And this is an encounter with the spirit of manipulation. And that's available on Amazon and my website, kashahunt.com. What else I got going on? A lot. But I'm going to stop there. But you can go to my website at kashahunt.com to find out more.
That book cover is gorgeous.
That is
That was
gorgeous.
awesome.
Okay, who's next? What Power next? Power?
All right, I'll go next. I'm Nana Osei, but I just go by Nana O. I'm a co-host of Women of Power. I'm also a spoken word poet. Yeah, so I spit all things, about life, relationships, dating, and I'm currently trying to catch up with my co-host with authoring my first book as well, entitled Hitchhiking Heart, which talks about dating. And so that's all I have right now. But you guys stay tuned because definitely more is coming.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, now the last Power.
My name is Zenobia Harvey. I am the co-host of the Women of Power Radio Show. I also attend the Rep Church of Texas. I actually just released my very first book. I am a published author. The book is titled Burying Time. You can find it on Amazon or anywhere books are sold online. I also am the founder of the Zenobia Harvey Collection.
Yes.
I customize accessories and I accessorize your life. And Women of Power does air live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Right.
Tune in with us.
Is that on Facebook?
Facebook
on
Live.
Facebook.
On Facebook.
On Facebook Live.
And YouTube Live. So make sure you go and
Yes.
like our YouTube channel at Women of
Yes.
Power.
And they talk about everything. I thought we
Everything.
talk about stuff.
Everything.
Well, they get juicy. Okay, so we're gonna get off into your sauce. So who want to get into first? What sauce we want to get into?
Ooh, Lord.
I think I'm going.
We need to
You
know
gonna go with this?
I know what the sauces are.
This is my sauce. This mustard. Woo! And you can squirt it. So, so who wants to be the squirt? So who wants to squirt? I tell you, we gonna act up tonight. Okay, so yours is what?
Mine is hot sauce.
Okay.
Now you gotta talk
mild.
So
loud.
it's
I'm gonna
spicy.
go mild today. I'm gonna go mild.
Oh, it's mild. Okay.
So that's not spicy?
It's a mild
It's a mild
spice.
spice.
It's not hot.
It's not really hot, but you can make it hot.
Yeah, it's not caliente.
You supposed to add to it, make it hot.
Oh, I'll make it hot.
Okay, then. So, she said she gonna make it hot. Okay, we're gonna turn the mild into hot sauce. Okay, what about your Miracle Whip over there?
Miracle Whip where you spread all over.
Oh, we got squirt, spread, and hot to hot. Boy, we gonna get something tonight, boy. Okay. So now, Women of Power. How did you all get started?
Yes.
You want to?
Okay, I'll take it. So actually, we started on Fishbowl Radio Network, which is the largest internet-based network. And I met Nana. We were both I was producing a show, and Nana was one of the segments on the show. And the host of the show, Big Husky, who he has his own.
We've had him on the show too. Yeah, we know Big Husky.
Yeah, so we started with Big Husky, and then he became ill and decided to give up the show, and we picked up the mantle and kept running.
That's what I'm talking about. That's women of power.
Come on here.
Yeah.
So that was, we're going on 5 years.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And so Nana is one of the founding members, and then Zenobia, come on, she was the taquito that got added on to the Mexican plate a little later on. And we just have such an amazing relationship.
That's
I love the
chemistry.
energy. It's always fire. It's always spicy. The energy that y'all send out is just. And then, I mean, you're sexy, you're hot, you're saved, and that's just awesome.
Put some of that hot sauce on.
I know.
baby.
And you're young and you're vibrant.
Yes.
And I just love that
And
about
beautiful.
it. And your topics
Listen,
are
we just
just
trying to look like
amazing.
y'all be like
Oh,
that.
no.
Everybody rocking at this table
Yeah,
today.
baby. We rock, baby. We got the
Oh,
square.
God.
I just love to have fun. Okay, so you all started this out. And you all come on Tuesdays at Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And you all have some of the most incredible topics.
Yes.
I mean, where do y'all get y'all topics from?
Well, our topics actually come from our viewers, and I think that's what makes the show so interesting because we don't pick the topics ourselves. We have, our viewers just send in questions. They can send them in anonymous because, some of them be a little too,
I hear you.
Yeah. And then we just, look through the comments and, whatever they want to talk about, we end up just pulling it out and you give them what they want to hear because there's a lot of topics that people, like we talked about before, want to talk about, but they're too shy to bring it up. And it gives them a great platform for them to have that and be able to even watch anonymously and get their questions answered. So.
Right. And I think the ability to be anonymous kind of frees them up to really, share some good stuff.
Because people be saying, "Ooh, you asked that on there?
Right.
What are you doing with that?" We always
be-
want to condemn those people when they ask these questions.
Right.
So that's good. I like that.
And then you have men join in so freely.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
men
We
to join
love
in
our
freely.
love our
I
we
love
do.
them.
Yes.
Viewers.
Because for a while, it was
They
nothing
are
but estrogen.
very verbal.
Yes.
They are, yes.
Very opinionated, and that's kind of what makes it level out with the women.
Yes.
Because we be on a proud, but they come back at us.
Yes, they do. Yes,
But
they
I think
do.
it levels out everything. It gives people more of an understanding of their perspective. Of
Right, you
things.
need
And
that.
so-
You need that.
Absolutely.
The males, do they always say that y'all bashing the men?
Oh, on our show? No, because we don't. That's not our aim. Our
That's
aim
good.
is to actually give them a voice.
I understand that part, but sometimes a guy, you might say something that, defending the female, and they say, "Oh, you bashing the male."
Oh, okay.
know,
we have. I think we've done a
they
really
don't.
good job of not doing that.
Good.
So even
Yeah.
the viewers, the male viewers who do tune in, that's why they love it so much. And they'll make jokes here and there and say like,
Oh, right.
maybe today
Yeah.
you're on fire or so. But
Right.
for the most part, no.
Now in the
It's-
comments, the women and men they go back and forth.
They do. They go back and forth with each other.
with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
But that's probably
Not them three. And I think what they're doing is giving each person, or male or female, a voice to be heard
Yes.
and not criticized. So it's
That
a
is
safe
good.
place where everybody can
Yes.
talk,
Right.
and you can capture how men feel without them being critical, without
Right.
women being critical.
Right.
Well, the hosts aren't. So
Yeah.
that makes it
Right.
easier for them to
Right.
tune
Right.
in and just voice their opinion because they know they're not going to get beat up by the hostesses with the
Yeah.
mostesses.
That's the main important
Yeah,
thing.
that's
is
the
the
best
host
part
is
right
making
there.
That's what I hear when I
comfortable.
listen in. And
Yeah,
I'm
we
watching
actually
the
just had the
comments.
men's panel.
I saw that
Which
one. I think I saw that one.
Was a huge success.
Yeah.
And so we brought on some of the men that actually are our viewers, and they were able to answer, deep questions that not only females asked, but everybody asked in general.
Yeah.
And so it went really, really well.
Yeah.
And we got in their sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, you got in that sauce?
We got in their sauce.
Yeah.
And I think
And,
that's what makes it so exciting is that everyone, male or female, black or white, whatever race you just feel like you belong there.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's a Christian-based talk show.
It
So that
is.
makes it even more
Yeah,
exciting
yes.
because you don't feel any condemnation.
Right.
And then y'all just off the chart hot and
Right,
sexy.
right, right.
You be like, dang, and they pretty, and they look good.
You know what's crazy is that we did not start off like that.
Uh-huh.
We actually started off as more of a traditional radio show where we had segments, we had, sports, we had all these different things. And so what we noticed was that when we went just strictly live, when we left Fishbowl and went live and really started to build our audience, that our watchership or it would go up during the hot topics.
Yeah.
And so finally we sat down and said, look, everybody is so excited, about the hot topics, but they got to wait for this, they got to wait for that.
All this stuff to get to it, because we would even do our
Right.
headline would be the hot topics.
Right.
And that's why people would tune in. But you see the hot topic, you tune in, we're talking about sports or we're talking about, a news thing. And it's like, this is not what and so we realized like, no, to keep them and this is what they want. Let's make it solely about relationship. And then it just took off. It completely took off. So
because that's what people want to know about.
Right.
I think people really want their relationships to work, and they're trying to find that place. I really want to be with someone, but it just seems like it's so much work,
especially in this generation right now.
Yeah,
There's so many distractions.
The criteria is so high.
Yeah,
everything's got to be perfect.
Yeah,
it's not.
No, really not at all.
And that's what they learn is that it's just not perfect.
And that's some people's way out. We actually get a lot of emails and text messages, inboxes about how the show blessed them and how it allows them to it set a lot like free.
It does.
It's like I needed somebody to answer that. I needed to discuss this. I needed to hear this because there's not a lot of platforms to where you can be really transparent and raw like that. And so,
but see, another thing too is you all are real.
You are.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying?
You're
when you have
real.
a host panel that are real and they're not faking and shaking, that gives that energy out to them that, hey, they've been through this and they're willing to listen to us. And I think you all not trying to be, hypocritical. You all are real. And it captured the attention of the audience because, hey, I can call them and they're going to talk to me. Yeah. But they're still Christians.
Right.
See, that's the thing. They're still Christians and they're not trying to condemn us. They're not trying to make us look bad. Right. This is what the audience, this is what's going to get people saved.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you all are dealing with what they're going on the inside that really need to come out on the outside, and you make them feel relaxed talking about it.
Yeah, you really do.
But see, when there's been true deliverance, then you're not ashamed to talk about it.
Come on.
And so I think that is another thing that attracts our audiences because we are so transparent.
Extremely.
And it's like, there's nothing that we don't mind sharing, because we overcome by the power of our testimony. And so what is that power? The power is the ability to share that I overcame that.
Right.
So
and if I can do it, you can do it.
You can tell that you aren't hurt. Because if I don't have time to watch you, and when I hear Woman of Power, I just get excited. Some talk shows you may like one host and you want the other three to leave or the other two to go. Really, you watch some shows and I'm going through Facebook. I say, okay, they got to get rid of one person. Get rid of this person. But on your show, it's like you guys, you'll say it, she'll finish it, and then you're the period. You start it, you're the middle, and then you end it. And then y'all go back and forth, and you just respect each other so much. And you don't normally find that
respect
with
each other's opinion.
Black women.
Yes, that's the thing.
You normally don't find one person wants to just over talk everyone else, or the other person wants to make sure I'm here. Yeah. But it's not like that. And I just love, and y'all are so young, and that's what's so beautiful. When I hear Women of Power, I just light up. Women of Power. Come on.
Because you all complete each other.
You really do.
And then too,
that's hard to
when
find.
you have women that are not jealous of one another, like him says, not trying to outdo one another, you all work together.
And
that's what makes it. And you listen to one another. You don't mind the change. And you don't, like him said, you don't get that. Because it's either going to be one trying to outdo the other one. And we all, it's an iron sharpen what? Iron. We're here to sharpen iron. And you know what? I'm glad y'all on the show with us tonight. Because some people won't let y'all come on that show. Because they'll be jealous.
They'll be jealous.
I just changed my wig, but I'm going to get me one.
They are.
But I love it. I love motivating women. I love to encourage women. And why? Because I love myself. So I don't mind loving you. Y'all are family now. You know, so we enjoy. I was so glad when you asked for them to come on the show. And I said, yes, we would love for them.
And I always wanted to ask you, but I was scared. I was like, oh my God.
I was
waiting to ask her. But she may say, because some people say, well, you need to talk to my assistant. And I'm like, oh no.
We are our own assistant.
Yeah, so
people have told me, you need to call my assistant. And then the assistant doesn't know me. because I may have been going to that person's event.
Yeah.
Right.
But when I go to the assistant, baby, you don't get nothing. You'd be like, okay.
I would give you a call back later.
Yeah.
Right.
They never,
I will. When
they
I
like,
talk
your
with her,
assistant don't know me, you know,
Right.
because I'm coming up shaking your hand, talking to you. You said, well, give it
Right.
my assistant. I said,
Right.
oh, your assistant don't know me like that. She can be like, she ain't call back yet.
But you know that is so good that you all work together like that, you know, and you all. I love your topics. I really
Yes,
do.
I do.
I
too.
love your topics.
It's
You all are
freeing
the few times that I have been able to watch the show, you all are just so
You're
real.
amazing. How do you come up with your topics? I know you said the
She said
viewers.
the viewers.
I know you said the viewers, but how do you select which one you're
Which
going
one
to
you
do
want.
each time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I take that?
Take it, girl.
I'm gonna say sometimes the topics are stuff we want to talk about, like
Oh,
stuff we
good.
want to know. And the one thing I love is like a community, because
Yeah.
you know, some talk shows it's like this is our topic and we're going to discuss it. But I think what makes our show unique is that we value even what our audience
Oh,
is
that's
sharing,
good.
and we read their comments and
Yeah.
we discuss because
That's
they think of
good.
stuff that
Right.
we didn't even think about.
Yes.
There's new
That's-
perspectives being put in the comments at any moment. So
Yes,
we
yeah.
don't just stay and say, like she said, focus on our conversation. We make sure to call people out by name. We bring in, say,
You
that was
do.
a really
You
great
sure
idea.
do.
That
You
was,
do.
and and sometimes even their questions or their comments will
Uh-huh.
reroute our whole
Yep.
topic,
So, yes.
our whole, it'll segue into
integrate
something totally
them.
different.
You
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I
So
think
they
you called
feel
my
like
name
they're a
out
part
one
of the
time.
show, truly a part of the show. Not just
I know I
This
Zenobia
girl.
called my name. I said, "Oh, she know I'm on. Oh man, I'm in the bathroom." I was like, "I'm in the bathroom. Can she see me?"
Because we can see it. We see everything.
Right. But you know what's funny is like, what was that, 2 weeks ago on the show? You know, because we always call out those, hey, so-and-so join us, so-and-so join us. And our bishop came on out of Virginia and he put on there, say my name.
Hey, yes.
Everybody want a piece of the cake. Huh?
Read my questions.
Right.
We're going to get to it real fast.
That is awesome.
It is really
This is good that you all can share because on our show we bring in a lot of guests, which is good, and they get to tell their story. They get to tell about their books.
Yeah.
You
That's a
know,
bad
and Kimberly
cover.
goes out
That's
there
a
and she
bad
gets some
cover.
of them and all of, and we bring them back. You know, because our thing too is those that are unknown. We want them to become more known.
Yeah.
And we target more people coming on the show and sharing their experiences.
Yes.
You know, like your book here, The Changing of the Guards. What
Yeah,
is
you
this
got
about?
Oh,
Yes. Come on, bring
Now,
it
is this
on.
about you? This is your
It
story?
is my
It's a
story. And it's
encounter.
about how I entered into a marriage. Well, actually, God told me to enter into a marriage, and I ended up married to Beelzebub. And
Married to whom?
That's the devil.
Yeah,
Beelzebub?
yeah.
Beelzebub.
I married someone that was heavily influenced by the spirit of manipulation.
Oh,
And I walked through a 2-year marriage, and through that experience, God birthed this book. And, you know, I kind of felt like the man in the Bible who God told to marry a prostitute,
Right.
you know,
Right.
even though he
Oh.
knew that she would never be faithful, you know. And so I kind of felt like God had me marry him to experience that spirit so that I could help the women that are in these emotionally and physically abusive relationships
Yes.
understand the difference between someone who's a liar and someone who's a manipulator. And so, that's how that came about.
How long ago did you write this?
It just came out in March of this year.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So are you divorced or what? Are
Oh,
you
yes.
still-
I've
you
been divorced for
now?
4 years. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Zenobia actually interviewed me in my virtual book release because I was like, Lord, why would you have me release a book in the middle of a pandemic? The pandemic, I mean, the whole world has shut down. And he's like, release the book. Like, what?
Have to give them something to read while they're in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, give them something
People
to
are
read about
searching.
that.
Yes.
Gosh, this sounds good.
And so
How long did it take you to write the book, though?
So actually, when I walked out of the marriage, probably maybe within the first 6 months, I wrote about 3 paragraphs, and then I put it away for 3 years. And so in November of last year, God told me to pick it back up, and I finished it by December. And I was trying to put it out like January, February, and God was like, "No." Stuff just kept happening. I was waiting for my forward. I was waiting for this. I was waiting for that, and so I just had such a peace about it, you know. And then in March, He was like, "Go," and I was like, "Oh, but my publicist is not responding." So I actually published it myself, even though I gave credit to my publicist. I don't know if she's watching, but out of Oklahoma. But I edited it, published it, did the front and the back myself, and published it through Amazon. And so,
That outfit is the bomb.
I like this
So
one
classy.
statement says, "What you don't confront, you can't conquer."
That's
right.
true.
That is awesome. So you had to come, and you know that's awesome.
And this is your copy.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when did you find out that you were being manipulated? And I mean, because you was in
that's a
love,
good
right?
question.
Yeah, I
How
was.
did you know you was being manipulated?
I didn't, it wasn't revealed till the second year. The first year, I believe God spent revealing me to me.
Okay.
And because I was a minister of the gospel. I thought I was perfect. All I got to do is get married. I won't fornicate. Everything going to be
Right,
good. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So when I got married, I'm like, now I'm complete. Now I'm perfect. And God began to show me, no, you're not perfect. You're selfish. You this, you all these different things. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So then the second year, he revealed the spirit to me, but he would never allow me to confront it or even speak and let him know I see you. If that makes sense. And so the second year was just me seeing how it operated and seeing how it would, a liar would tell you a lie in the moment. Like, your money's missing. I don't know where your money is. I didn't go in your purse. A manipulator will start 2 days before and begin to build the story.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
They'll begin to build the story. So when your
Yes.
money come up missing,
That was
they
free
can
game.
connect.
Free game.
That was free game. That was
What you say? What
Yeah.
she said? What she
I said
said?
that was
She
free
said
game.
that was free game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which just mean that was a free.
So he was
nugget.
already
Yeah.
prepared what he was gonna say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With all that.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
he would
But
build up to it.
You said that.
That's deep.
Okay, when you met him, what was that you said you was put together or something?
So yeah, God spoke to me and said He's going to ask you to marry Him. Say yes.
Okay.
And so
Wow.
as soon as I came, because I don't want to get too deep into it, but it was a spiritual encounter where we were having a conversation, and I just began to speak in tongues, and I didn't know how he was going to receive that.
Okay.
So I ran out the room and I went in the bathroom, and I could not stop speaking in tongues. And then the Lord spoke to me and said, He's going to ask you to marry Him. Say yes. When I came out that bathroom, he had tears in his eyes, and he asked me to marry him, and I said yes. And the next weekend we were married on New Year's Day. Yeah.
How long have you known?
2
I
weeks.
can't get it out. Let him know. How long?
I've known him 2 weeks.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
2 weeks,
Mhm.
and y'all got married.
Mhm.
Oh, that was almost like that show. Meet one day, you married.
Oh,
whatever
married
that
at
show
first
was.
sight.
And you know what? I wanted to do that. Just because.
She didn't learn.
Okay. Because, we talk about relationships, right?
Yeah.
Go.
Dating
Come on.
right now. Can we testify?
Can I put some
Yeah.
hands up?
No, let's testify.
She gonna squirt.
I ain't got nothing.
Okay, she needs a hot sauce. Okay, so you gonna pass out. Okay, it's mild now, but it's finna get hot. Okay, go ahead, let's go.
Because we got a testimony, y'all.
Come
on
That,
with it.
dating right now is nothing like what dating used to be.
I know that's right.
And I wanted that dating where they come to the door with the corsage, take you out
Yes,
there, blah, 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 blah.
yes.
That is no longer existent.
No.
And so, listen, y'all, the struggle is real, and so,
Girl.
with ghosting and with lying and with all these different things, it made
Wait a
me
minute,
like,
ghosting?
yeah, ghosting. I'm gonna let who want to explain
Okay,
ghosting?
y'all, we come at. Oh, that's good. Oh,
Ghosting
Go ahead and
is
do this whole
when.
ghosting thing.
Go ahead.
Well,
let's
okay.
see.
Ghosting is when you
I
have
need a
mixed
mix-
communication
mixed
with
drink.
Hold on,
somebody.
start over.
Okay,
I
so
need a mixed
Oh, you
ghosting.
gotta take that.
Okay, she getting the hot sauce now.
Ghosting is when you have been in communication with somebody, right? And you guys have been going through this talking phase of getting to know each other, going on dates, and out of nowhere, they end up ending communication without explanation. You don't know what you did wrong, if they're okay, if they met somebody else, if
They have
they
a
connected back with their
coincidence.
ex, if they did. You don't know.
Right.
Because they just disappeared.
They got
They don't
ghosts.
communicate. Yeah,
Oh,
they
so
ghosted you.
they just gone. They don't
Yeah,
know.
so like a
I don't
ghost.
know
It's as if
why.
they're dead. So they ghosted you. They're alive, but they ghosted
But they did. They lied, but did.
They're alive but dead. So they might as well be a ghost. So they ghosted you. You've been
They're
ghosted.
dead to you.
You haven't heard from them, but you go on their social media and they've been posting for the past 2 weeks.
but listen.
What?
But listen, eventually
Okay.
they done got
here you go.
resurrected.
Okay. Especially during cuffing season, they resurrect.
Eventually,
They get what?
after they ghost you and they die off,
They are Lazarus.
they get resurrected. But when they resurrect with somebody else.
Or sometimes they resurrect when the weather changes.
No, you can't.
Not somebody
Are you
else.
serious?
They resurrect.
Come
When
on,
income tax time is right.
That too.
That income tax.
But when it gets
Wait a
cold,
minute
like
now.
now, because it's
So-
cuffing
No, they
season
do
right
resurrect
now.
with you sometimes. Like you said, it just depends
Yeah.
on. It depends on what if cuffing season is
It is
around.
cuffing
you
season
definitely-
right
you
now.
know,
They're
Okay, what's
resurrecting.
what's that name?
What's that?
So cuffing season is basically when you need to snuggle during the fall
The
and winter
cuddle
time. So you
months.
really
it's
find
getting
somebody.
cold outside.
You know, summertime you free game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you got around September, around that, which is around the time it
It's
is
right
now.
now.
Right.
You know,
Color.
it is time.
People
you
trying
need
to build up
somebody
their
warm.
roster.
You
Yeah.
need somebody warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody
Right.
talks about
I
that.
tell you
One,
what,
by
you need
yourself.
to-
Two, you need.
You need to
Okay.
get you a teddy bear.
Okay.
A big one.
Big teddy bear.
Okay, back. Wait. Okay, now go ahead.
Be not
What you
ignorant
doing?
of
What you
Satan's
doing?
devices. Y'all better be up on game. Get a
Right.
teddy bear, like she said. Be smart, because you're gonna get lonely. And
Don't
when he
get a teddy
resurrects,
bear.
you're
And
gonna
get a
respond.
teddy bear with some squirt.
No. Not in no sport.
Oh Lord, not the
Okay,
even
so
know
okay,
that. Okay, Kasha.
Back to this dating now. Okay, so you
What
said
happened
it's
there?
hard
Go
to date, right?
Yeah, the dating is just not the same. And I think because I was married and then I was celibate and just not dating for so long, that now that I'm entering back into the dating game, it is like uncharted territory.
Okay.
It's like there's no pursuit. But then, you're supposed to.
Like the man's supposed to find a good woman, so they're not pursuing the women.
If a man finds you interesting
Uh-huh.
and he asks for your number, in my mind,
Uh-huh.
he's supposed to call you. He's supposed to try to take you out. And it's not like that.
What do
They
you
will.
want you to call him?
Girl, they will text you for 2
They
weeks.
will watch you doing WID.
They'll say, right, they'll WYD you to death. What you
What's
doing?
the WYD?
What you doing?
What you doing?
Oh, I'm
What you
still
doing?
learning.
That's okay. You get good morning, beautiful. Good morning,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Also, they text instead of call.
Yeah, and then go ahead.
This is awesome.
And when you
Okay.
respond with the,
Uh-huh.
oh, I'm doing this, there's no response from them.
Or
So
they're-
if you get a
they're dry.
WYD,
What you doing?
yeah,
Okay.
you don't respond back.
Okay, so if they, wait a minute. Okay, all right. This is gonna help my audience.
No,
Me.
no response
Okay, so-
for 200,
okay, so
Alex.
If they wait a minute, say that again.
No response for 200, Alex. That's my final answer.
What's-
From
what's-
that TV show.
Jeopardy.
Oh.
Jeopardy.
Yeah. Okay, I don't watch Jeopardy. I'm sorry.
She don't either.
I don't either. But that's my answer.
$200 is no.
They just don't know how to have conversation. Like we talk about this all the time on the show. Like they're just, I
Uh-huh.
call them ashy conversations. They're dry.
Just
They're
ashy.
extremely dry. Like they don't, dialogue is supposed to be open ended
Right,
before
right.
they answer. But it's like you say something and they'll say, "Oh, okay," or "That's it," and it's like, "Okay."
What's
so it's
next?
Like, yes. So we're not doing ashy conversations 2020. We're not.
But let me ask a question. It has gotten to the point where communication is through text. Have you ever had a conversation with a person one-on-one on the telephone where you can hear that person's voice? Because now it done got so lame, it's like it's uncaring.
That's
I
the
mean,
thing. Most
do
of
that
them
bother
too.
you?
It's
Absolutely.
like
Most of
talking
them.
on the phone is really weird for me.
Oh, it is.
You like
Yeah, she
texting better?
prefers texting.
I'm a texter, but because I think once you talk on the phone, it's like,
What?
I don't know, because when you're so immune to texting, I think talking on the phone is the best thing to do. But when
Uh-huh.
you're immune to texting and you finally talk to somebody on the phone, it's just not the same effect as a text message because you've gotten so used to that,
Right.
which is
right.
crazy because then you don't hear the
voice.
emotion and the
Yeah,
voice
you
and
can't
things
get
like
to
that.
know. Yeah.
What
I
about
think-
the feeling?
I
Do you get
prefer
the-
it. I just got used to texting.
So do you
okay.
feel it through the texting? I mean, can you
No.
feel
You
it?
can
No.
misinterpret through the text.
You can
miss it, yes.
You can misinterpret.
Yeah, she told me that. She was like, "You better call, don't text."
Right.
I said,
You
"Okay."
can't
the
get
real
to
deal
know.
Holyfield.
through
So you
text
can hear it
message.
in their voice what they want.
I want to hear that you love me,
Yeah.
Well,
How
they
often
can
do
text
we
that
get
to
that
you.
though?
I love you. What you doing? What you got on?
and you need to put an I in front of it.
Well, with texting, they can be
Put an
texting
eye.
5 other people at the same
Right,
time. In order to get to
right.
know someone, you want to hear, how they sound when they're nervous, what their
Uh-huh.
voice is like when they laugh,
Right,
like all that,
right,
the tone, the inflection. You can't get that through a text message.
So
No,
let me
you
ask you
didn't.
this: what are some of the questions that you all will ask since you're dating?
Oh,
I mean, to the man, what kind of
Oh, I'm not
questions would
dating,
you
so
ask?
I ain't got no
So
question.
I will say this: I had to change my mindset on dating.
Okay.
Because I was that person that want to know everything up front. Like before I waste my time with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you, do you have kids? What do you do for this? Where do you work? How much money you make? How tall are you? Blah, blah, blah. I need to know all the details to determine if you worth my time going forward.
Right.
But I realized that was the wrong approach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what you want is for something to just happen organically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it to
Yeah.
naturally happen because when you begin, men can tell by what you're asking what you want.
Won't.
Right.
Because they're going to call you a gold digger
Right.
if you keep talking about money, huh?
No, what
Well,
they're
they'll
going to do is
conform
they're going to conform
to
and try
what
to
you
become
want. Yeah.
What you
right.
want them to be.
Right.
Okay.
Don't
Right.
tell them. You
So
know what I'm
instead of
They're
being
not
themselves.
real.
Yeah,
And
so-
you want to know the person.
Right. So
Right.
what I ask, if anything, I say at this point in your life, what is it that you're looking for right now? That at least lets me know if you're looking to casually date, if you're looking to date with purpose for marriage or whatever.
Right.
But as far as like, what is it that you're looking for? If they say, what are you looking for in a man? I always say, I know it when I see it. Because like she
Okay.
said, what I've learned is when you
Right.
say, well, I want a man who does this, a man who treats me like this, all you're doing is giving them the uniform to put on. And then 6 months, a year later,
It's
you're
they
wondering
not.
why they switched up on you
Right.
because they were never that person. You told them who to be. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Right.
don't want to do that.
And they trying to do that because they want you.
Right. You want to see them for
But
who
don't
they
that
are so
that's
you can
vice
make a
versa
decision.
too, right?
Right.
Because sometimes the men will do that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're trying to tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you said you know them when you
Yeah,
want
I say I'll know it when I see it, but I just need to know like what are you looking for at this point in your life? Are you looking to date for marriage? So if they say yes, then we just let it organically happen.
Okay.
But the details,
them. If
I'm
they
not
say
saying all
no,
that.
what happens?
Then bye. Like I'm not saying I'm dating. I'm not casually dating right now. At this big age, no,
You don't
no.
think
I need.
if they
I'm
said
ready.
no that you can sway them to it?
No, absolutely not. I've learned that at the end of men know what they want. So
They
you have
do
to
all the
believe
time.
what they say. That's the
Believe
mistake so
them.
many
They know
women
what they
make is
want.
that
And
they
you need to
say
listen
something.
to 'em.
Listen, when they say
Listen
that
to
they're
'em.
not ready, it doesn't matter if he's taking you on dates, if y'all are doing relationship things. If he told you from his mouth, I do not want a relationship,
He
believe
does
him.
not. That's
right.
Because
He
what will
mean
happen
it.
is you get attached and say, well, he's doing all these things as if I was his girl.
That's right.
So maybe I can sway him. Then what happens? They're looking at you like, I told you I didn't
I
want a
told you I
relationship.
am not
And now you're looking
ready.
And then
crazy.
you go and
You
get
get
pregnant
angry.
bomb though.
Then
You
it's
go
too
and get
late.
pregnant
Right.
bomb, thinking
Yeah.
you can trap it.
And then you get angry with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he
They
told
told you from
you.
the beginning.
Thank
But
you.
they
Yeah.
you block that conscience because you've told me this, but I'm not listening because
I'm listening
my
to your
clock
actions.
is winding and I need,
need
to
to get
have
married.
I need to get married and have kids and stuff. And then he
He's getting
say,
dusty. Come on
but
here.
I told you I did not want a relationship.
Right.
And then your thing is, well, I thought maybe you
I
would
could change
change.
it.
And, well, and the thing is,
Yeah.
it's not even necessarily about change. It's just that men need to be honest. Yes, you said that you don't want a relationship, but if you see that everything that y'all are doing is tied in to look like a relationship, you need to stop it
Right.
and say, okay, look, this is too much this way.
Mhm.
We don't need to do
They
this
won't.
because I
They
said
won't do
because
that.
if you see a woman,
who's gonna cut off
if you see,
benefits?
but you get
Who's
what I'm
gonna cut
saying.
off benefits?
That's
Yeah.
Men are not
Let
gonna
me
do that.
Let me
to
add
it.
this. You, like my son, I teach him to be nice and kind to women. But a lot of times they get that kindness mixed up for relationship.
Right.
Mhm.
Because he opens the door, because he gives them a ride somewhere, because he helps them out, or if he's out and he'll just say, okay, well, I'll pay for your food. But it doesn't mean I want to date you. I'm just being nice. My mom just told me to be nice. Now I gotta tell him, well, just don't be nice. Let her open the door herself.
Because that's so rare
Don't-
nowadays.
and just save it for your wife, because
He
if
won't
they're
be
trying to be just a casual kindness,
Because the
So
thing
they
is
taking
that
it for
when,
him
because
trying to mess with him or something.
right? He really wants to date me, and they think that, and it gets mixed up because they just can't be kind. They just can't buy her some food.
and be a friend.
gotta
We
be
all out
She want a
together,
Yeah.
and he'll say, well, Mom, I really don't like her, but she keep thinking I like her. I said,
Because
well,
he's
I don't know,
nice.
because
being a
he's
gentleman
nice,
to her.
he's
Yeah.
being
Because
kind,
it's so rare today.
he's not
That's
cussing her
exactly
out.
about it. That's
Say
why.
he's not
Very
doing
rare.
this.
it's because women are not used to, like
Not
you
used
right
to
now,
it.
men being nice because that's
right.
naturally what a man should be.
He should be,
Not
yeah.
because they like you, but because that's what a man is supposed to be. So when a man does that, it's
Right.
almost like, ooh,
But at the same time,
Right.
women have to
I'm supposed to
learn.
open the door.
Right. We have to learn.
We have
You
to
say,
learn that
I'm in
everybody don't
love.
want you. They just want to be nice to you.
But you know what?
You know what
We
I'm saying?
address that a lot on the show. The
Stop
difference
thinking that.
between dating and being in a relationship, because
That's
women
right.
equivalent
Dating,
dating
yes.
with being in a relationship, and it's not.
Not
Dating
the
is the
same.
time
To
where you
gather
determine, do I
data.
want to?
Yes.
Who
You
say
get
that?
them-
Dating
You
is the
getting to
time.
know
of-
each
Yeah,
other, right?
dating is to gather data. You're getting to collect information. That's what it is.
That's
You're
true. I
collecting
love
information.
it.
That is
That's
nothing
true.
more, nothing less. And
Right.
so when you start to read in between the lines, that's where you get your feelings hurt. Don't do it.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
just sit back and let it happen
Yeah.
organically, and
It
just
has to.
observe.
Yes.
Just watch. Just watch.
And be you.
Yeah,
Just
there
be you.
go.
Just
Yeah.
watch.
Right. But we have
It's
to
hard
take
to
some
be nice.
accountability as well.
Absolutely.
That's right.
A
Yes,
lot
we
of
do.
accountability.
Right.
Yes, we do.
Because we have a history of women as giving wifely privileges as a girlfriend.
Right.
Guilty.
Ooh.
We've all been
Privilege.
guilty.
Been very
Benefits.
guilty of that before.
Yeah.
Yes.
And once we have that encounter,
Mhm.
we think that that's my man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that could have been a booty call.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
But that's
Don't they
that's
still
true.
call it
But
booty
that's
call?
that's
Yeah,
true.
it is.
Yeah, you know?
Very true.
But
Because
we do. We think once we do that, we got them.
Yeah.
And if we don't get them, then we get pregnant by them, thinking that's gonna make them come.
That makes it
And
worse.
that makes it worse.
Don't worry.
Right.
Because now
Don't
you
worry.
have a child in this, and the man told you from the beginning,
Right. I
don't
want a relationship.
I don't want a relationship. And then we have some women that force it on them.
Yeah.
Right.
They make them, entice them enough to get that. I even watch some of the soap operas. They be sitting up there planning how they gonna get a baby by trying to get them, and everything. So, and then once they get the baby and the man gone with another woman, then they crazy. Then they after that woman
Then
because
they play
now,
crazy.
it's that's what they do.
There's so many different facets to it. And what you said even reminds me, I was listening to Redefined TV, Jerry Flowers, and he has, I forgot what it was called, but it was about love. I think it's called That's Not Love. And he said even when it comes to the sex, and he said, because so many people, when during sex, someone will say, I love you. And a lot of women, we think that, oh my gosh, well now I got him, like you said.
Right.
But he said, I'm telling you right now that if you ever hear a man say, I love you during sex, he's talking to the sex. He's not talking to you. You just overheard the conversation.
That's some good sauce.
All right, why is the man back there bobbing his head? Talking about why is
my baby learning, baby. You learn from this now.
You just a third party.
All my sons should know this.
And that's the truth. You're a third party in that situation. He's not talking to you, baby girl. So again, keep it closed and just wait.
Right.
Yeah, keep that thing like this. Keep it closed.
Yeah.
Okay, we took a pause with Kasha telling her story. Can you go back to you got right? You was at ghosting and you was at he was doing this and come on, bring us a little bit more of that
just talking about dating and why it is so hard. I'm just gonna tell you, it's hard on females right now.
Yes, it is.
Back when you was with Beelzebub, what's his name?
Now he wasn't ghosted. I wish he would have ghosted. I wish he would have ghosted me because I would have had saved 2 years of heartache. But now for some more about Beelzebub, y'all gonna have to get the book Changing of the Guard.
That's right.
And Changing the Spirit of Manipulation. But what we were talking about with the ghosting was actually dating right now.
Okay,
and
now with him, something that you experiencing with him.
We moved to dating right now, and I would say right now it is so hard on the women.
Okay.
On the women. Because men have so many options. And then of course social media and all of these dating sites has opened up the whole world as an oyster to a man. I mean, can y'all testify back there in the back?
Amen.
Y'all got the whole time.
Y'all got
options. Shaking their heads the whole time. I've been trying to look this way, but I've been seeing the head bob.
She watching y'all.
I've been watching.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got options. And so what happens is that if they get with you and they see an attribute or whatever they don't like, they have the freedom now to move on to
the next
hundreds of others.
With no accountability.
Right.
No
accountability. No anything. And so what we're seeing now is that whatever platform you have been met on, there have been others that have been met at the same time. Right. And so that's why it takes 2 hours to respond to your text. That's why he calls every other day. Right. Because he's got these 5 other people that he's messaging and he's texting. And so it's really hard now for women. And that's why you see women making these desperate measures, willing to put up with infidelity, willing to put up with being abused, willing to put up with paying for everything. Mm-hmm. You take my car while I go to work and you hang with your homeboys. Like the devil is alive.
He ain't hanging with just homeboys.
You know he not.
So what, if all of you all are dating?
No.
I'm
not.
We're single. We're open to dating.
I'm open to dating.
Is really for the first time in her life really, really single.
Yeah.
And just
so she's not even
I'm not even open to dating right now.
Yeah, she's not open.
I'm enjoying being me by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's learning to be by herself.
So you all are.
Yeah.
My son.
Okay. Yeah.
So are you ready to get married?
Yes.
You want to get married?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. When the time is right.
She ain't worried about y'all. She's into herself and her new book right quick.
Come on.
And you got your book, right?
I'm working on mine. Yeah.
Okay, what is your book going to be about?
My book is entitled Hitchhiking Heart. And so basically I drop
Hitchhiking
Heart.
Yes. Oh, Hitchhiking Heart.
Yes, Hitchhiking Heart. So I draw parallels to when we go through life, just like, when it comes to dating and how we choose our partners, we do the same thing that hitchhikers do. Because when they're on the side of the road, they have their standards of the kind of car they'll get into. They trust whoever they get in the vehicle with is going to take them to the destination, whatever city. And we do that when we get in relationships. We trust that they're going to take us to the destination of marriage or monogamy. But you never know if you're getting in the car with a serial killer, right? Or someone who's going to hurt you or abuse you. And in relationships, it's the same thing. They said they wanted monogamy or marriage, but you don't know. You get in that relationship relationship and they can end up, hurting you and all these different things. And even with hitchhikers, you see sometimes, they don't get out of the vehicle when they get in the car with the psycho. They know that they should get out of relationships. You get in a relationship with someone, you probably should get out of, but you get comfortable. So you become what I call the problematic passenger, where you know that you shouldn't be in that situation, but you've gotten so comfortable, your feet hurt, all your friends getting married, everybody having babies. I'm just going to stay in the car because it's comfortable. And so I basically draw that all into how the reason why we want relationships and companionship is because we want to feel like we're so loved. And, it makes us feel warm and fuzzy to know someone's thinking about us, somebody loves us. We already have that in Christ, right? But because we're human, a lot of times we want that intangible flesh. And so we make mistakes, right? So
that's how we were created.
Right.
That's what we related with people.
Yes.
We related with each other.
We don't wait.
We don't need to be one of serial killers, though.
No. But we have a natural and innate tendency to desire to be in a partnership.
And it's not bad to feel that way, because a lot of people, they go through so many bad relationships and encounters, and you get to a point to where like, is it okay for me to still want to be happy to be with somebody? Absolutely. It absolutely is. It has to be done God's way and God's timing. Right. Because I believe that God puts that desire in us. And so you have a right to feel that way. It's absolutely beautiful. It just has to be a God thing.
Right. Yeah. So you just have to wait, and you will know, like you said, you will know when they come into the presence.
Right. And so I go through that with my situations too, the things that I've experienced. So I have poetries like mixed in each chapter, as well as just, it's about my life story as well, because I also was in a very abusive relationship. And so I kind of go through all of that, and but it's
how long did you stay in the abusive relationship?
Oh, longer than I should have. I was there for 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
What kind of abuse, if you don't mind me asking?
It was physical and emotional.
Really? Hitting?
Yeah. Well, he was a thrower. He would throw stuff at me. So like one time it was a bar stool. And then so like it busted my mouth, and I'll never forget, and I've shared this on the show too, where I told his mom thinking that his mom would reel him in. And the first thing she said was, well, what did you do to make him mad?
They always
and I was like,
that,
okay, this is not, I need to go. But it's in hindsight, when you look at it, it's like, even in those moments when your mouth is busted and you're bleeding and you're crying and thinking, okay, this is the end of it, to see that I was even able to still just go back though. And like, I fought to stay, like, even when he would cheat, I'm crying and fighting for him to come back. And it's like, you're fighting for the very person who causes you all this harm. Like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, I can just help him and, help him work through his anger, help him. And I'm doing this thinking I'm helping him. But, at the same time, I'm breaking myself, and so I lost myself. By the time that relationship was over, I was a shell of myself.
How old were you at that
time? My self-esteem was so low.
Were you real young?
Not necessarily, because I met him when I was 20, so I wasn't super young.
Okay.
Yeah,
20, but that's pretty young.
20, I mean, 25.
I would say young. Wait a minute. Yeah, but I'm not young.
12.
I was 20.
You were 17.
Yeah, I was 20. Yeah, I wasn't like 17. So yeah, I mean, I was younger.
17, 18, 19, 20. They're real young. Wait till you hit 50.
With the AARP.
Yeah, that's young. And so you met him in high school, college? You met him in college. Mm-hmm. So do you think now, looking back, that you needed to grow?
Most definitely.
What was it, the way you perceived life?
I think it's the way I perceived love, what I thought was love.
Well, yes, I mean love, life, relationships.
Absolutely. Because my value was based on what people thought about me, in a sense, as far as how I felt about myself. So if someone were to say I looked beautiful that day, I was on cloud 9. If the very person who, especially considering that's the person I love, people who you don't know can talk about you, don't care. Yeah. But when it comes from someone who you hold in high esteem, it can build, like, it would break you down.
I was just asking you what you thought.
No, so that's where it came from.
How you were thinking.
Yeah. My thought process was that it was based off of what he thought about me. So whenever he would say the things about my weight or make the comments he would make, whatever, it completely, like, it would shatter me. But at the same time, it also would make me want to feel like, well, then okay, if I just try a little harder, if I lose more weight, everything was to appease him.
That's what I was
and that was the problem. And so when it came to even, again, compliments, there would be times when we go to a store and a guy might say, if you've ever been out on a date and someone says, oh, your girl's so beautiful, you're a lucky young man, that kind of thing would happen. As soon as we turn around, he would just go off on me, you're not beautiful, you're fat. The only reason I understand that's because they want to sleep with you. So by the time I was single, when men were interested and would say like, oh, hey, beautiful, I would get so upset. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, what do you want from me? It would make me put my guard up and I wouldn't talk to you anymore. And they'd be like, well, did I say something wrong? And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, you know what you said. And they're like, that's you're beautiful. Like, and so like, I was crazy. I was hurt. I was broken. I was
so as a child, maybe kindergarten, in elementary school, did you suffer from self-esteem issues?
Yes, because
Was it family, friends picking on you or anything of that
it was
nature?
school. We were the only minorities at the schools I went to for up until I was in 6th grade.
Wow.
So racism and just being called monkey, especially we were African, being called African names. There'd be things waiting on my desk for me when I used to get to school in my locker. Like just like the stuff you see in the movies, we had all of that, rocks thrown at us. So for me, like I was always self-conscious in that sense, so it didn't disappear. By the time I became an adult, it was easy to say something to me and have it hurt my feelings.
He monopolized on that.
Yeah, and he, of course, you tell people all these things and that's why I say you got to be careful.
You gotta be
So
careful.
you were telling him this?
I
You
mean,
told him what you had already experienced.
Yeah.
So he used that back on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get back your self-esteem again, that you are beautiful, you are fine? Are you still dealing with that? Because your body language is saying.
Yeah, no, it's not. Although I would definitely be 100% transparent and say it's definitely not gone. I still have my days, but it's not what it used to be. Because it used to be like, it was really, really bad. But right now, I would say it still took me, because I ended in 2011. I didn't even become open to dating or anything to 2016. So it took me about 5 to 6 years where I knew that I needed to just be with myself. Yeah, because I feel like if I were to bring anyone into that, knowing that they'd be serious and I was so messed up, I would hurt someone's feelings. And I didn't want to do that.
So now for a man walk up and say, you are so beautiful and fine.
You're like,
thank you.
Listen.
Well, thank you for, I say thank
So you don't
accept
think
it,
that, but is
no.
it still in the back of your mind sometime when somebody say that? Or can you pick up their spirit when they want booty or what?
Yeah. No, I think I can pick it up when for the most part,
Your mama.
where it's coming from based on their approach. Because you could tell sometimes,
That's right.
how a man approaches
When a man approaches you, what he
but
want, really.
Even still, you just have to I say stand back and watch, because people can approach you the right way. And again, snakes move in all kinds of ways.
Yes,
They have no backbone, no
Yes,
spine.
they do.
They can swerve. You just got to pay attention.
Yeah.
When I
Gotta
look back at
observe.
myself when I was younger and how I perceived myself, when I was a child and then in my teens, and to hear someone's perception of me now, it just I fall out rolling, because I know that's not how I saw myself.
Mm-hmm.
And this one guy said, you are definitely not a 2-drink minimum. You're going to have to, most girls, he said, you can get them with a 2-drink minimum in a club.
High
Because he said, but
you got to come with it.
And I laugh when someone says that, because I was like, oh my gosh, that's not how I thought about myself in my 20s when I was young, my teens, my 20s, and my 30s. He said, no, he gonna have to get the whole bottle, because you look like this. He said, you're friendly, but you have this look of confidence, like you're not gonna take nothing off nobody. Yeah. Well, that's not how I see myself.
Oh, really?
But that's
What I
when I walk in a room, I'm not walking in a room like, Matrix on nobody. He said, but that's what guys think. When you walk in a room, they think they're not going to fool with you because it's going to be too difficult. I said, oh my gosh, when did I pick that up? Yeah. And one guy was out with my girlfriend.
I'm trying to figure out when did she pick it up?
Well,
it's just your disposition.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the ninja effect comes from the fact that you do exude confidence, and confidence lets off an aura.
Right.
And so it's like, do people tell you, like, when you come into a room, it's like you command,
or that you're trying to own the room? I was like, no, I just walked in the room.
It's just you.
Thinking about it.
It's just you. And men are intimidated by that.
There you go. That's it.
So that's why
it's like when you come in the room, you're always doing this. And I was like, I am.
That's just
because if you only knew that I stuttered when I was little, and you're trying to close your mouth, and I was listening to the things you were saying. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was going through that. I remember I was going through this, and I was just trying to get this guy like me, When I was 16, girl, I even painted his name on my wall. My mama said, what the hell is wrong with you? Why is his name on your wall, on your bed? What? And then I look back now, I was like, where he at? Bro, man, we need to talk.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. And I saw him on Facebook. I said, I need to talk to that bro right there. I was like, you remember me? She gone. Boy,
I tell you, this time has really just gone by so fast. I have really enjoyed you all.
I know.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Stop. Why we gotta stop? This is good.
This is awesome. I have learned so much more.
And there's so much
I'm
more
from a
to
little
learn.
country town, so I'm still learning. Even though I've been here 38 years. I've been married 38 years, so I probably wouldn't know how to date anymore. I probably
we don't want you to know that. We don't want you to know how to date.
I still date my husband. we were gonna have a date night one night. And I had on my little sexy nurse thing, and he opened the door, the lights were down, he said, baby, did you forget to pay the light bill? I went, really?
You messed up the whole vibe.
Yeah, girl, I'm telling you, but we laughed about that today, but we would still work hard. But now it's really funny because we look back on all those things that we laugh. But that's just part of dating. You still have to date no matter what.
Yeah.
And we still date, Whataburger is our most famous place. I love my Whataburger. I give hats off to Whataburger, but that's just mine, You see my little number back there, that's still my Whataburger number.
Oh, you got the Whataburger.
To give you a permanent discount.
Maybe I'll see the show and say, hey, we're going to get Elma a whole year of free Whataburgers. But anyway, I have really enjoyed you all.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
and when do y'all show come back on again?
Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Facebook Live on Women of Power Radio Show.
All right. And then your book,
Praise them.
Changing of the Guards. You all please go and get this book. And then your new book is out too.
Yes, it's on Amazon and everywhere books are sold online, called Burying Time. And if you need to reach out to me, just visit me on Facebook at Zenobia Harvey or the Zenobia Harvey Collection.
And your book?
My book is Hitchhiking Heart, and it is still being completed.
It's still being hitchhiked.
2021. And they can reach me on Facebook at Nana F. Osei, or just go to The Peculiar Poet on Facebook.
And so you say you do spoken
word? Yeah, I
Can
spit
you do
poetry.
something right quick?
Yes, you should.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
baby.
Okay, because y'all know my poem's a little long-winded. Okay, so I'll do a little piece of fear. I am the fear that tells you you'll never be good enough. I am the voice that licks wounds of your salty past, reminding you that where you've been is just around the corner, holding a sign with your name on it, ready to take you back to those nights of toilet seat pillows, pain in a bottle, and men who could somehow solve all your long-term issues temporarily. See, no matter how tall you walk or how high you hold your head, I will remember you, for I am fear. I keep low self-esteem and self-consciousness under my tongue. I am the mother of suicide, and me and trust issues, we have no issues. I'll stop there because it's kind of long.
Whoa, man! I see why that guy on America. I think it was America something won that.
Oh, I'm gonna go on that next year. I did not even know we could do poetry on
But
there.
you see,
I saw
he
that.
won.
I'm
Going on America's Got Talent.
America Got
Yeah, he
Talent.
won
This
the whole
black guy
thing.
won.
Poetry
He did
meet
the spoken
everybody.
word.
I didn't
And
know
his
that they
poems
did
is straight.
poetry.
Girl,
Yes.
you gotta get up there.
And I mean, the whole audience was captivated.
You gotta get on that.
You should, because you captivated me, girl. I tell you.
Don't stop.
And I thought the white guy thought they was gonna win because they were singing. And when they called out that black guy that he won, his eyes got so big. He was so excited.
Yeah.
But he was awesome. He got the gold thing.
Yeah.
The gold ring.
The gold button.
Yeah, he got the gold button. But you are awesome.
Thank you.
Whenever we open it up again, I'm gonna have you over here, girl.
Oh,
And
just
I'm
let me
gonna
know.
put together a thing so you can. But anyway, thank you all women of power for being on the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma.
yes.
Please tune in. If you have any questions, put them at the bottom of the page, and we will definitely try to answer all your questions. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. with the Women of Power, Facebook and YouTube, right?
Yes,
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And y'all can bring y'all topics. I mean, they have some topics.
If you think it was hot
Okay,
tonight.
so which sauce do you think won tonight? I think the hot sauce.
The hot
sauce won tonight.
It was
So,
hot.
Kimberly, you won tonight. So thank you all. Kimberly got her hot sauce. You see it keep going down every time. It was a full bottle. But every time she gets on the show, it started going down, down, down. So, but anyway, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Miracle Whip. We missed out tonight. But maybe we'll get it next time. So thank you all for tuning in to Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma every Monday. And now we have a Thursday edition. So tune in on Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Facebook and YouTube. Please like our page. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have a topic that you would love to bring on, or if you want to be a guest on our show, just like the Women of Power, send me a text or look at www.elmatalkshow.com. Fill out the blank. And if not, I'm pretty sure Kimberly will snatch you up. She will grab you and bring you right here on the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. May God bless you until we see you face to face. Mwah.